In my studio, I have a lot of random stuff going on. Some things go very fast and some things go very slow. Some things are very high energy and some things are very low energy. And it's really, the studio feels like it changes so much, almost seasonally, really with every project. So in my studio, I'm always caught in some big problem that is being resolved or re-examined. My name is Hadid, and I am a sculptor and a drawer, and let's just say I'm an artist. And I live in Brooklyn, New York. What my studio looks like today? Oof. Well, I'm preparing for a show, so it's pretty chaotic. There's a lot of big wall panels that are hung or backwards or being kind of reinforced. 3.5 sculptures and big tables and piles of crud all over the floor and glue tape and clips holding things together and busy people, hopefully. They're always busy, and probably the radio's on. They usually listen to, like, I don't know, we listen to NPR or podcasts or music or something. It keeps your brain kind of, I don't know, flowing a little. So we listen to music too. It just depends on the mood. We kind of decide, like, you know, words or music today. I'm kind of into old school hip hop, but I also grew up listening to like indie rock and whatever, Britpop and things like that. My brother was a DJ, so I learned a lot from him, but I got my hip hop on my own. There's a lot of sampling from Arabic music, so I think instead of going the way of my parents and listening to, I mean, of course I listen to, you know, sometimes if I'm feeling nostalgic, we'll listen to some Arabic pop music or something. But I think that might be why it feels kind of natural to me. I think my studio, for New York standards, I think it's pretty large. It's not like a mammoth, but I've had it for a while. I've had that space for maybe 10 years. And I was just around the corner in a smaller studio before that. It's grown. I mean, it's changed a lot. You know, new storage spaces put in. I put in a little kitchen and a little locker room changing space. So, yeah, it changes. Now it looks like I've been there forever because there's just molds in, you know, the storage above that have not moved since my first show in New York. And so it's pretty crazy. A really good day in the studio for me is probably a long day so that I can have a lot of different things happen, like a lot more time for things to happen. And maybe I'll do some drawing, maybe I'll work on some sculpture. Staying out of the office is my best day. It feels good to get some of that off my shoulders, but a really good day in the studio is actually making work in the studio, but a really good day in the studio is solving a really exciting problem. That's like the A+ day, but an A day in the studio is just like, you know, I get to kind of float around and decide what to work on depending on my temperament, and I have like a healthy amount of caffeine in my body, so that's a good day. Yeah. A bad day in the studio would be like not getting much studio time, like going in and like having to deal with the practicalities of an artist's life, which is just like whatever, signing, looking at email. I don't like to sit on the computer very long, or like, short of like a catastrophe, a bad day in the studio is when I'm distracted from, you know, the fun stuff. It's usually noisy and busy. It's calm because I have assistants, so it's calm, you know, after hours, like after 6, or in the mornings. Sometimes I come in like earlier, 'cause I'm now an early riser. more home. Like that's the more consistent place I've lived in New York than any of my other, apartments and whatever have shifted around. But I feel like my studio is my home. I mean, it's built out pretty solid. It would take a lot for me to leave. It makes it hard for me to make work anywhere else. I have all my tools, and it's a process. Like, you upgrade over the years. Like, you get a better piece of equipment, you get better tables, you get whatever, like you build a new wall, or so it's really customized for my work. And it's messy. It's not, I don't want to say it's like a traditional looking studio, because I'm not like carving marble blocks or anything, but there's a lot of like welding, there's a lot of like sparks flying, there's a lot of tools on the ground, and that kind of stuff. It's like really, scaffolding, ladders, making. Do I have tricks for getting myself going creatively? Yes, I do have a lot of tricks. The best thing and the easiest thing to do is to just sit and stare and try to kind of blank out, like kind of not think too hard, I guess. Sitting and staring is like really important, just like chair or on the ground, and I have my sketchbook open on the ground sometimes, but I try to just make a list of, kind of itemize the simplest and most crucial things that have to get done. There's a lot of pressure, whether from other artists or school or something, or internally, to be at the studio every day and every chance you get. And I did that for a long spread, and I try to do that as much as possible, but the realities of life come in, and you have to sometimes travel, or you have to sometimes deal with something personal, or you have to go to see a show or something. And so I guess I would say give yourself a chance to miss the space that you need to make your creative work. So, duck out sometimes and be okay with it, and then come back refreshed. And it's important to miss something to really know how valuable it is. So relieve some of the pressure on make, because sometimes you're just kind of spinning your wheels, and it's not valuable. It's not a valuable use of your time. And other practical things are just just try to save everything you can for rent. I don't know.